did it and said it was experimental, so sorry about that.
No, don't worry. I was hoping it might work out, but no. I got you here with me. So okay, so go ahead. What were you saying about now? I said I presented the idea of what if Peter Parker was born and raised in Gotham, or well, let's do both scenarios. Let's talk about what if he was born and raised in Gotham, and the same scenarios led him to becoming Spider-Man. Like, okay, what do you think? Do you think it would be like? Would you imagine that Batman would be there as well, and Spider-Man would be another hero in Gotham? Do you like that idea, or do you think a world where there was never a Batman and the same villains still emerged? And then,
I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine a world without Batman and Gotham. So my idea would be he would be another hero that he would probably tolerate, but one he would respect because, you know, if he has the same type of upbringing, that he will no doubt, you know, believe, you know, in the sanctity of life and do all his best to protect those in danger. So I think that part is good. My concern would be is, you know, granted, Spider-Man has fought uber powerful villains, but I don't think he's ever, outside of Carnage and maybe Venom before Venom and him got on good terms, those are probably the two mentally unstable characters in the face.
You said those are the two. You said those are the two mentally unstable.
What'd you say?
You said those are the two mentally unstable characters you ever faced.
I would say that those are the main two. I'm not saying there aren't others, but those two, especially Carnage. You know, Carnage is a superpower Joker, so to speak.
What would you say would probably be his origin? Like, would you say that Uncle Ben was waiting for him to come out, or was waiting for him in the street, and then the Joker killed him, or something like that?
You know, I wouldn't have to say the Joker. I would just say, you know, since Gotham is so crime-ridden, it could be just any Joe. It could be any guy. Mm-hmm. Any guy that you saw Uncle Ben as a target. I mean, I think that part of his origin story
would stay the same.
Well, because you know, Gotham is just a type of city. You know, even Superman doesn't go about Gotham. You know, I'm saying it's like, oh yeah, Batman has that. So
now, if the whole concept now the concept is just Spider-Man alone, so none of the Spider-Man friends or villains are in this scenario.
Okay, Spider-Man alone.
So
instead of having Batman from the beginning, you have Spider-Man.
I thought it was interesting what you said earlier, because you said you think because of how crime-ridden and how dark Gotham can be, you think it would weigh on the psyche of an optimistic Bruce Peter Parker. But Peter Parker to me Peter Parker is very similar to like Jason Todd or some Tim Drake in a way, and some in a little ways even Dick Grayson. They crack jokes like that as well.
I think he has elements of all three. I think that he has the intelligence, the wittiness, he has the intelligence of Tim Drake. Right. You know, with his abilities, he has the athleticism and the grace that Nightwing has. And at times, when pushed, he can be as direct as Jason Todd. So he has those three elements, but typically he is more of a front field. You know, I'm gonna laugh on what he did. I'm gonna crack jokes. I'm gonna try to keep my opponents on their toes, and I let them know how scared I am. I get that part, but you know, dealing with people who are hard criminals like Gotham tends to have, and the type of rogue gallery that is in Gotham, you know, it is extremely concerning with me. I'm thinking, okay, Peter Parker is a great guy, you know, as we know him now. He's a great guy. You know, he had all the love. He could get the front man up a band. They helped shape him into this really genuinely wholesome guy who very rarely ever goes up to deep end. I mean, there have only been a handful of instances where Peter has crossed that line. And in all those instances, most readers will say yeah, I can see why that happened. But when you're dealing with villains in Gotham, like Two-Face, like what's that guy, Mr. Pig, I think that's it.
They would constantly push Peter, especially with having those powers that he has, to cross lines that probably even Batman would. Batman is so crazy and whatnot. He is a element of Gotham too. But from the scenario of that to me kind of seems like that's the argument of if Spider-Man was to come from New York and to visit Gotham. But I mean, if he was born and raised in Gotham, he might be just. I would see maybe Peter would probably be just as everybody in Gotham. It's very rare for a person to stay a humble, shining, Jim, wholesome type of a person in Gotham City. Even Jim Gordon crosses a lot of lines.
Well, and I think that also comes from his time of being there, because he was brought in to be this cop, and then as his career has progressed, he's gotten more and more cynical, which I understand because you see this day in, day out. So,
but Peter feels a higher level of guilt. I think Peter's level of guilt would weigh on. Like one person on Reddit said that Gotham would probably drive Peter mad and make him an anti-hero. He would be a hero, yes, but he would be almost like the way Venom is, willing to break bones, willing to kill, maybe.
I don't disagree with that. There was this what if storyline, and it was basically if Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and Wolverine had teamed up, and they became like this duo. And Wolverine's very gruff nature starts to roll up on Spider-Man, to where Spider-Man became more cold, more calculating. He killed when necessary. So he was someone who wanted to accomplish whatever that goal would be. If the goal was protecting the mayor of Gotham, and if it required him to kill some villains, that's what he would do.
But then it would get to a point. Then if Batman is still around, if this is a world without a Batman, then that's fine. But if Batman was there, he would. Then Spider-Man would be a target.
He would be a target. I mean, but I think that would be a challenge for Batman then. I mean, not saying he's done all these incredible things with prep time, but I always say that when you have someone who is as intelligent as Spider-Man is naturally, and given the reason to focus in on someone who's going to attack him like a Batman would, then now you have a very interesting scenario between these two heroes or anti-heroes.
Who do you think would be Peter's greatest? Maybe not threat. Maybe threat wouldn't be obviously the Joker would be one of them, but who would, like, psychologically or would be the best ones to really push Peter to the limit, and trying to take just looking at what Peter can do, in the Marvel universe, but what DC Batman City, Gotham City villain?
I mean, really, the obvious would be Bane.
Physically, I'm physically, Bane.
But I'm looking also at the psychological aspect. You have someone who would study Spider-Man.
Obviously, the obvious answer to that would probably be the Riddler. But you know who I'm thinking? Who would really put him to Mr. Freeze? I think Mr. Freeze would be the one who would be the for lack of a better word, coldest to because Peter is such a jokey and upbeat kind of a dude, and that would get on Mr. Freeze's nerves.
Yeah, why are you chattering? This is what this is about.
Yeah, you're brilliant. I see Mr. Freeze as almost like a Doc Ock kind of a counter. In my
but Mr. Freeze has always got that tragic villain treatment. He's a criminal because he wants his research to save his wife or his love or whatever.
Right.
But in this case, I definitely agree that he would irritate the hell out of Mr. Freeze. And probably more Riddler as well. I mean, not saying that he has issues with intelligent villains, but when you have someone who is cerebral and someone that will keep him on his toes mentally, yes, physical capabilities are there, but now you have to fight a battle on two fronts, and that's where he can make mistakes.
I agree. I think that Peter's his sense of humor and the way his mind works, I think he probably wouldn't solve them as fast, but I think he would be just as good at solving those riddles as Batman is.
Definitely.
And that would irritate him. I think that would be so irritating to the Riddler, having this teenager or young adult, cracking these codes, like because Peter's a scientist. He can solve these things as well. I think Riddler would be a good one. Who else? You brought up another real Two-Face. Those constant. I think Two-Face would probably be his Goblin almost maybe Joker, but Two-Face would constantly put that choice, like on the first Spider-Man movie, that save this person or save these people, save the one you love or save the kids. He would constantly do that to him, I think.
I mean, in the history of Spider-Man, when he had to make that choice, Gwen Stacy, the greatest loss is his successor, or second greatest, because after being, to save her life and break her neck in the midst of that still eats him up. So imagine Two-Face saying, okay, well, you can stop me now, or you can stop this bus that's going to explode that I wired to explode. Like, what? Yeah, whatever. Whatever you want to do.
I think if Spider-Man was if there was never a Batman and the same villains came up and Spider-Man was to come up in Gotham, the biggest threat to him eventually, I think, would be, could you imagine Eddie Brock growing up in Gotham and getting that symbiote suit?
That's a nightmare.
That would be a night. The Joker would not even be able to handle that. Or you know what sick thing would probably happen? This Carnage probably would find the Joker, or Venom would probably find Bane or something like. There would be something like that. But if it was Eddie Brock, it would be a scary thing in a city that loves to kill. It would be a feeding frenzy for Venom. Venom would have a field day.
I mean, and the thing is, originally Venom was extremely brutal.
Yeah, it was only when he became a fan favorite that they tried to dial him down.
Like, Venom was no nonsense. Oh shit, he's here. And then
mind games.
They progressed. They decided to make Carnage that guy that's like, everyone is like, oh. I had a thought the other day, and I wondered to myself, I said, who are the characters that when they arrive on the scene, no matter who you are, everyone is like, oh, this is serious. And I think,
You mean you're a hero? Wait, hero or villain?
It doesn't matter, hero or villain.
This is serious.
You think
Doomsday.
Doomsday. I was thinking maybe Doomsday.
You mean what Gotham? What Gotham villain?
It doesn't even have to be Gotham. It's just in general. It's just the amount. I say this character just commands respect, fear, and all that stuff in one.
That's Batman mostly.
You know what? I don't even think Batman. I mean, I think people fear Batman, but I think that there are more people who I don't want to say tolerate. That's not the right word. They respect him for his life. He's a dangerous man, but I think push came to shove. I think that taking him out wouldn't be as difficult as the writers make it seem to be.
Yeah, because the government keeps tabs on him. They know his secret.
I know his secret. Yeah. I mean, but I think that the advantage he has over he is willing to go to places most of them won't go. He knows how he thinks psychologically, so he knows that Superman is this caring person who wants the best out of everyone. He's about hope. Great. He knows that Barry Allen is very optimistic. And, Barry's the scientist, and he's going to follow the clues and do what he's trying to do. He knows that Wonder Woman is this princess who's also a warrior, who's very regal, who's about honor. I think that he knows that, John Jones, which is pretty much as a detective as he is, but John Jones has a weakness of power. Man, that's an easily exploitable weakness.
I would say on the hero side, that person that with that hypothesis that you bring up, the person that guy could be, but believe it or not, would to me would be Aquaman, because like look what we're doing to the environment right now, all the stuff that we're polluting the ocean and all that. It would only be a matter of time to that war between Atlantis and the surface would happen. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing that I would be constantly worried about. How long is Aquaman going to tolerate all that toxic waste we dumping into the ocean before he goes, you know what? That's it.
That's it. I'm tired of it.
And I'm bringing this whole entire world, underwater world against you, and it will be the hardest fought fight ever. That would be that would be a World War III right there. That
I mean, it's kind of one of the things that makes Flashpoint so interesting. Mm-hmm. Because when you have these warring factions, these Amazonians and these Atlanteans going back and forth, it's like, they're taking out everything whole, so it doesn't matter where you are. Land, on the island, it doesn't matter. We're coming for everyone. Yeah, exactly. And him being the king of the ocean and whatnot. I mean, in charge of the water, and that's the one resources that we would need. If he would ban all ocean activity, humans from the ocean and all that, something like that, like you could freeze out society in less than 6 months. So that's the case. No ocean liners, nothing coming across the ocean. Yeah, he would ruin all economies and stuff. It would force humanity to depopulate. I mean, because we would only be allowed to mess with the rivers and ponds and lakes, like TLC said. But stay out of the ocean. That means we will be forced to kill ourselves and depopulate, because we're already overpopulated. Cities that have millions of people would have to immediately turn into cities of thousands because you need the ocean. Oh, that is scary. That's probably the one.
That's a book that needs to. I don't know if it's been written before, but that scenario and I would call it ocean line or borderline or something like that. Kind of talk about a little bit like what's going on with politics today with the whole border crisis and stuff. Like maybe we'll call it that border crisis.
Now that you mention it, there's a storyline going on now in Marvel with the Invaders, and basically Namor is called the Ocean of No-Fly Zone. So he's kicking everyone out.
There it goes, right there. I'm gonna have to read that one. That's a nightmare scenario right there.
Full supervillain, man. So it's very interesting seeing how that's taking place. So if there was ever a society like that with control of the water, I mean, the ocean is huge. Exactly. I mean, I don't think most people have a full understanding of how big the ocean is.
Yeah, there's more. The globe is covered by more water than it is land.
There's land. I mean, I took a flight to Hawaii.
Yeah, that flight's not a joke.
To Hawaii. Man, that's a lot of water. It's like, wow.
So Submariner and Aquaman, if they ever decide like that no-fly zone, that's to me that's the toughest thing that could ever. And I'm surprised they don't use that more. And if the rumors are true for the next Black Panther movie, talking about introducing Namor and all that, that's a tough thing to fight.
How they work that out.
I don't think they should. I think after Aquaman, they would just compare it too much. And I think that's one character that we should probably stay away from.
Well, I mean, since they have that natural beast in the comics, I understand why.
What's up,
Chris? I would say it's too early, but that would be my opinion.
Yo, my friend of mine, Craig, the tech guy, his YouTube channel. Give him a shout out to him. He's out there listening right now. We had a couple people listening, coming in and out, but when we were having our technical difficulties, that's when people stopped listening. But they'll catch up to it. They'll catch up to it later. But going back into the subject, before I let you go, because I'm about to head out in a few minutes. What was that I was going to ask you? So the scenario was if he was born and raised in Gotham. I think we talked about if he was if Batman was and was not there. But if Spider-Man was just swinging by and not like what we saw in Marvel DC, worlds collide thing. But in the just let's say like if New York was, because DC does have a New York, and let's say if Spider-Man was in that New York and just started swinging by, and he decided his mission took him to Gotham City. Just now he's visiting. Batman is there, and whatnot. I think what you said was true. I think Nightwing or Dick Grayson. I think Tim Drake. I think one of those guys would like Spider-Man. They would actually love him, probably.
Yeah,
but Batman probably would have a problem.
When you really look at it, Batman really doesn't like a lot of people. He tolerates plenty, but the people he actually likes, he likes Catwoman, he likes Alfred, he likes his family, his Bat family, But
I think he would grow to like Spider-Man. I just think it would take a while.
Oh yeah, he'll be frustrated by him. I mean, and I get it. If you're someone who is pessimistic as Batman is, and you have someone who is as optimistic as the Spider-Man is, those two would always clash, and they will probably agree on the solution. Yeah. But Mike couldn't get to that solution would be the hard part.
I feel like it would be Spider-Man's scientific mind and his heart, that is his drive, that would eventually win Batman over. And then if he tells the Uncle Ben story, great power comes great responsibility, then that would be the thing. That would be the bonding moment right there. Because I think Batman would.
I think ever had a crossover in the comics. I know Spider-Man and Superman had.
Yeah. But yeah, the DC Marvel, you gotta, before I let you, I'm gonna give it. I'll plug it real quick. There's what's the name of that book? It's I got it on Amazon. I listened to it. It's it's the whole story about how DC and Marvel came up. And let me go to Audible real fast because I have it in my library, but let me see if I can find it real quick because I know I'm going to butcher the name. It's called Slugfest. So it's called Slugfest. I'm trying to read the what it's about, but it's inside the epic 50-year battle between Marvel and DC.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes through all of it, from the comic books to the TV shows to the movies, and it breaks it all down. But that's a book that you got to read or listen to. I listened to it on Audible. It was real good listening to it. But it goes over everything, all the different writers who started with DC, went to Marvel, and back and forth and stuff, all the way to when Stan Lee himself did a DC book. It covered it all.
Wow, yeah. Even Stan Lee did his own version of Superman at one time.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
But at the end of the book, it did say that after they did their crossovers a couple of times in the 90s and 2000s and stuff, they said that they're never gonna. There's no interest in the foreseeable future for them to ever do it again. So
I would blame them. I mean, it's really not had their takers for either one of them.
Yeah, it's too much argument.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, they've got enough characters to deal with as it is, so.
But the fans, man, they keep going at him like, come on, man, I want to see Spider-Man in Gotham City, man.
I have that crossover from the 90s. It was okay, but I'm fine without having it.
I feel like if they ever did it, I mean, they would have to make agreements, because I feel like this scenario, this Spider-Man in Gotham City book, I think that would fit. And people always say that Batman is the most Marvel character that the DC has. I think a 2-issue series, or like a couple, like a short mini-series issue where Batman and Spider-Man swap places and not knowing why Batman is in New York and why Spider-Man is in Gotham and what the heck is going on, like kind of a thing. I think that would be an interesting book.
I mean, I think it would be. I'm sure there's some fan fiction about it somewhere on the internet, but we probably will never get it officially.
It'll never officially get made. Maybe I should get you to write it and then let me draw it. I'll see if we can do it.
Okay.
And we'll put it.
Let me move that over. Let me get some ideas going in.
All right, cool. I'm gonna hold you to that. I'll mull that over means it's definitely gonna happen. That was a Carrington Burnett guarantee, man. But I gotta sign off, man. I appreciate you for taking time to talk to me about this. We got to do this again, and we got to lock up one day and talk more comic books and stuff, man. But let me. All right, man. I'll talk to you next time, man. Appreciate you.
Okay.
All right. Peace. All right, guys. That was my friend Carrington, man. Like me and him, we used to make comic books and stuff a lot all the time back in the day, and we still love it to this day. And if there's any time I need a question answered, if you think I know a lot about a lot of things, my boy Carrington knows a lot of this stuff. So that's the man I go to. That's my go-to guy, man. But yeah, that was fun talking with him, and I hope you enjoyed it, listening to it. And until next time, guys, hey, if your comments below, subscribe, like and subscribe if you like what we had to say. And if you have more scenarios that you want us to talk about in this comic book stuff, let us know. Until next time, guys, peace.